So there are some huge catalysts for Dogecoin that are going to help it recover from the recent dip, and they will fuel its price to move up very soon. And this is what I'm going to talk about in this video. But before we move forward, I'd like to remind you that we're giving away $100 to a random subscriber at the end of this month. All you have to do is like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Good luck! So let's start with the overall crypto market. So we are now seeing that after facing a dip recently, some cryptos have started to recover now. We can see that some of them are now trading in the green. And while the overall crypto market cap is sitting around $2.23 trillion, the good thing is that the total crypto market volume over the last 24 hours is sitting around $96 billion. And this makes a 2% increase over the day. And this is a good thing because we are seeing that despite the recent dip and some FUD in the market, investors are still interested in cryptos. And this is why I think Dogecoin is now looking to recover from this recent dip. In fact, if we see its current price movements, we are seeing that Dogecoin's price has increased by almost 3% in the last 24 hours. So after going around the 16 cents range, Dogecoin is now back above 17 cents. And it is now steadily moving towards the 18 cents range. And we know that this was the range that Doge turned into a support floor recently. So I think that it is now eyeing to do the same. And another good thing is that Dogecoin is now inches away from moving up to its 20-day simple moving average. And it is going to move up from there anytime soon. So this is a good sign for Doge since we know that if it moves above this level, it will get some momentum in the coming trading sessions. And now if we come to Bitcoin, we can see that it is now also starting to show some sign of recovery from here. As you can see, it is now trading above the 47K price level. And this means that Bitcoin is now eyeing to go past the 48K to 49K price region. And I think that it is going to go above from here since we are now seeing some huge catalyst for it. In fact, I'd like to highlight here that these catalysts for Bitcoin are equally bullish for Dogecoin. So we can see here that crypto analyst PlanB is still convinced that Bitcoin is setting itself up to be at the 50K region and his S2F model is still intact. So he is saying he uses models to protect himself from emotions. And right now, most people, including him, fear the further decline of Bitcoin's price and want to sell. But he believes that the S2F model is showing that Bitcoin is at the low end of the 50K to 200K first band and it is a buy signal. So what he is saying here is that in terms of bands on this chart, Bitcoin is still in the lower part of the S2F model. And as you can see here on this chart, Bitcoin is at the 52K level, which is the lower part of the S2F model. And like what PlanB said, it means that this is a buy signal. So this is the time for holders to load up as Bitcoin is on the low side right now. And PlanB still believes that we are going to see Bitcoin go up around the 200K price level since it hasn't topped out yet. So the point is that PlanB still thinks that we are in a good opportunity to see Bitcoin hitting the 200K in the coming year. And another bullish indicator for Bitcoin has been highlighted by analyst Mikołaj. So he has tweeted that while reading Glassnode forum, he has come across a great observation by TXMC Trades. And it seems like the holding ratio is behaving in the line with Bitcoin lengthening cycles theory. So what he is saying here is that the Bitcoin cycle after halving is lengthening. And if we look at the way that the holders are holding, it confirms that the holding ratio and the time that holders are holding is concurrent, and it is equal to the lengthening after the halving cycle. Moreover, we are now seeing that there is more evidence that the halving cycle for Bitcoin is increasing. So as you can see, in 2013, we saw that from the halving bottom to the cycle top, it took exactly 1 year. And in 2017, we saw that from the bottom of the halving to the cycle top, it took about 1.5 years. So what I think happening here is that we are going to see that the lengthening of the bottom of the halving cycle to the cycle top is going to be 2 years this time. Basically, the lengthening of the cycles is getting larger and larger, and that is exactly why a lot of people like PlanB are still convinced that Bitcoin hasn't topped out yet. And I also think that the top is not in yet for Bitcoin, and this is why I'm still bullish about Bitcoin and eventually Dogecoin. And now we have some other important stuff about Bitcoin that is also setting a bullish outlook for it. So you can see here that the investor cap multiple has subtracted the thermal cap from the overall Bitcoin cost basis to assess the fair value of Bitcoin as a deviation price multiple. And you can see in this chart that the green levels are the buy zones and the red levels are overvalued zones. And you can see here that Bitcoin is currently above the buy zones. And typically, when we see these levels, we often have huge parabolic rises for Bitcoin. I'd like to remind you here that PlanB was saying the same thing, that Bitcoin is in the buy zone since it hasn't reached the top yet. So the point here is that the overall outlook for Bitcoin is still bullish right now. And as a result, it is now highly likely that we will be seeing Bitcoin going for some parabolic moves very soon. And besides these catalysts, we are also seeing some other positive updates about the cryptos. For example, the executive vice chairman of China's biggest online retail platform Alibaba, Zhou Cai, recently came out in support of crypto. He took to Twitter and tweeted that he likes crypto. So I think it is a prominent thing for crypto owing to the fact that China has taken a strict policy of banning cryptos, all forms of crypto mining, and declaring crypto transactions as illegal. So it means that despite the government's strict stance against cryptos, prominent business leaders in China are still showing their support for cryptos. And it also means that, being industry leaders, they may somehow start an initiative in order to convince the government to lift the ban on cryptos. And it becomes more likely because the popularity of cryptos is rising dramatically. And as per the latest data, the word Bitcoin was used just over 100 million times on Twitter in 2021. And this number indicates the growth of more than 350% of the volume in 2020. So this data shows us that Twitter has become a hub for crypto talks and discussion. Moreover, it is indicating how rapidly cryptos are getting popular year over year. So this is a good thing for Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and all other cryptos. And talking about the growth of cryptos, a new report by S&P Global has predicted that the crypto and the decentralized finance sectors will keep growing significantly in 2022. The report has highlighted that while crypto institutional investments are still concentrated in a few companies like MicroStrategy and Tesla, this could eventually lead to other institutions following suit. Moreover, it is expected that there will be more regulatory clarity for cryptos in 2022 throughout the world. So the point is that once there is more regulatory clarity for cryptos, there will be more institutional investment in cryptos, and this will give the crypto market a massive boom in terms of value and utility. And this also shows us that cryptos like Bitcoin and Dogecoin are here to stay, and they are not going to end. In fact, they will only grow in the coming years. And talking about crypto regulations, legal experts in India have stated that it is now too late to ban cryptos. So these experts have emphasized the importance of balancing the government's crypto regulations. They think that regulations should protect investors from scams and fraudulent activities. Moreover, they have advised the Indian government to constitute a comprehensive regulatory framework for cryptos in India. And they believe that instead of following other countries, the Indian government should come up with its own regulations tailored to the Indian financial structure. So the point here is that everyone thinks that India cannot ban cryptos now since it has grown massively. And I believe this is eventually a good thing, since the regulation of cryptos in India will leave a positive impact on the global crypto market. And as per another update, the CEO of Indian crypto exchange Nishchal Shetty believes that the crypto market has grown massively recently, and this is why it will now not wait for nations to onboard. He also predicted that the year 2022 would be an extension of the ongoing discussions around crypto regulations and the emergence of the metaverse. And he believes that there is a strong likelihood that the crypto market will get regulatory clarity in the next year. And this will lead to massive institutional participation in cryptos that will also fuel retail adoption. So the point is that more and more people and industry leaders think that 2022 is going to be a great year for cryptos and their adoption throughout the world. And these are all major catalysts for Dogecoin that will boost its price and adoption as we are approaching the next year. And we have also seen that Bitcoin is expected to reach new highs in the next year. And since Dogecoin's price correlation with Bitcoin is so high, it means that Doge will follow Bitcoin's trajectory and may hit a new all-time high at some point in 2022. In any case, where do you think we are headed from here? Do you think that both Bitcoin and Dogecoin can reach a new all-time high in 2022? Let me know in the comments section below.